This may shock you, but your brain actually hates when you try to change something about yourself. Your brain, the thing that's supposed to help you grow, fights you every time you try to build something new. Researchers at the University of Oregon ran brain scans on people just imagining breaking habits. And you know what lit up? The amygdala, your threat detection center. The same region that fires when you're in actual danger. Not because the gym is actually dangerous, but because unpredictability feels unsafe. Your brain prefers predictable over better. Your brain uses about 20% of your body's total energy, and for something that weighs 3 pounds, that's massive. So it automates everything it possibly can to save energy. Researchers at Duke University found that roughly 40% of your daily behavior isn't conscious decision making at all. It's completely automatic, run by your basal ganglia on autopilot. The pattern is simple: cue, routine, reward. That's the habit loop. Once a loop works a few times, your brain locks it in through automaticity. So when you try to build a new habit, you're not just adding something new, you're interrupting an existing neural pathway. An interruption creates friction. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They try to overpower automation with pure effort, and that doesn't work. Willpower isn't a personality trait, it's a resource. Research from psychologist Roy Baumeister at Florida State University showed that self-control functions like a muscle. Use it repeatedly throughout the day and it experiences ego depletion. You make thousands of micro decisions every single day. By evening, your prefrontal cortex is experiencing decision fatigue. That's why you scroll at night. That's why you skip workouts after work. And that's why tomorrow always feels easier. It's not a character flaw, it's depletion. Stop making decisions in low energy moments. Pre-decide instead. Write it down. When I get home, I immediately change into gym clothes. No debate, no negotiation. The decision was made when your brain was clear, not when it's exhausted. This works because a meta-analysis led by psychologist Peter Gollwitzer at NYU, analyzing 94 studies with over 8,000 participants, found that if-then planning increased goal achievement by up to 60% because you remove decision fatigue, remove friction, and remove negotiation. That's how you beat depletion. You've probably heard it takes 21 days to form a habit. That's not true. That myth came from a plastic surgeon in the 1960s who noticed something about his patients. Actual behavioral research from University College London, led by researcher Philippa Lally, tracked 96 participants building new habits, and the average time to automaticity was 66 days. Here's what people always leave out. The range was 18 to 254 days depending on the complexity of the habit. So when you quit on day 9, you weren't failing, you were just early. Most people don't fail because they can't change, they fail because they underestimate how long neural rewiring actually takes. Repetition builds automaticity and time builds repetition. You don't have a habit problem, you have an identity gap. Research in behavioral psychology consistently shows that identity-based habits are more durable than outcome-based goals. When behavior aligns with your self-concept, resistance drops dramatically. If you say, "I'm trying to work out," your brain hears, "This isn't who we are," and that creates friction. But if you say, "I'm becoming someone who trains," now each action becomes a vote. Every time you show up, you reinforce that identity. Every time you skip, you reinforce the opposite identity. Your brain loves coherence. When behavior matches identity, friction drops. But there's a stretch where it feels fake, and that's the rewiring phase. That discomfort isn't proof you're failing, it's proof you're updating. You will miss a day. Life happens. Researchers studying long-term exercise adherence found that people who resumed immediately after a missed workout were dramatically more likely to stay consistent months later. But those who missed twice in a row, drop-off rates spiked. Missing once is just noise. Missing twice is a pattern. Your brain doesn't judge, it just tracks repetition. So the rule is simple: never miss twice. Forgive the slip, but protect the pattern. Here's the framework. Pick one habit. Focus rewires faster than splitting attention. Shrink it aggressively because consistency builds identity, not intensity. Write one if-then rule and pre-decide the action. Design your environment so the good habit is easier than the bad one. And never miss twice, protect the repetition. That's it. No hype, no guru magic, just structure backed by behavioral science. You don't need more motivation, you need leverage. Your brain doesn't hate change, it hates unpredictability. Make the new behavior predictable and your brain will run it automatically. Not because you forced it, but because you designed it. So tonight, pick one habit. Shrink it to 2 minutes, write the if-then plan, and start. Not Monday, not next week. Now. What's the one habit you're shrinking? Drop it in the comments. Your Built from Habits journey starts now. What are you building?